today's webinar, we had decided that we wanted to run a massive Q&A with you guys. So I have some questions here. And if you still have some questions after or during this webinar, feel free to shoot them in the chat. And I will just run over them when I'm done reading all of this. Thumbs up if that sounds good. Perfect. Here we go. Before I start, I feel I need to address this. I just want to tell everybody there is 36 people here I'm watching. I just want to say, or if you're watching this in the replay, I'm so fucking proud of all of you guys. Like really good job staying true and committing and finishing what you started. This was one of the first things we said in the beginning of this bootcamp, that everybody can start something. Very few people can finish something. You guys are very soon finished with the first 30 days of whatever this is for you. If this is a new routine, this is the first 30 day on whatever challenge you are on. If this is a 30-day mental challenge that you've been going on, whatever it is, great fucking job. Excuse my French, but round of applause for everybody in this group, for yourself. Great job. If you're watching the replay, you should be applauding for yourself. Great job. I'm so proud of you guys. And what I love even more about this group is that I keep seeing that everybody's there posting and sharing on each other. I see people falling off. I see people coming back, and they get the support from everybody around there, no matter their dance level or if they don't know each other, but people are vulnerable and sharing. So it's a very beautiful experience to be part of. So thank you guys so much for letting me and Tanya being part of all of this. This is an amazing experience. With that being said, question number 1 is this. And if I misread, nobody is allowed to laugh, all right? Because I'm dyslexic, so it's basically a hate crime. So I don't want to pull that card on you guys, all right? So stay safe. Here we go. Sebastian, I have 2 questions. Number 1, what is best? Having regular training each day, or one big brutal training every second or third day? That's a great question. There's 2 ways of seeing this. Both of them are correct. No one is better than the other. When it comes to, first I'm going to explain what science is saying, and then I'm going to explain what I personally think. So if your goal, that's what it all comes down to. What's your goal, right? Every question is always based on, okay, what type of goal are you after? Are you after building muscles? Then common bodybuilding knowledge is to do to splitting up the body. Splitting it up in, for example, upper body one day, lower body the other. Now, if you can only train, this is my opinion, and it's backed up by science as well. And what you need to know is that when you're hearing that a lot of bodybuilders have been doing, okay, we do split programs, like we do leg day, then we do upper body, and then we do shoulders and abs, or push, pull, blah, 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 blah. It works if you have a lot of time to train that long, or if you're on anabolic steroids. That is also one of the benefits of doing those things. But if you have a really long time training, and you can really max out on, for example, your legs or your upper body or your arms, and you really can destroy the muscle fibers to such an extent that they need a tremendous amount of time to recover, then if you are that person, then split training, which means doing 2 or 3 1 or 2 like brutal trainings every second or third day, that can work. Now, if you're a dancer, however, I suggest you focus on full body workouts. I suggest you hit the muscles several times a week. Why? Because you won't feel as stiff. The muscles will be under more frequent training. So you will have more, you will be in an anabolic window a lot longer. you won't feel as sore. You use your muscles for what they are supposed to be used as. So I personally suggest that you train little by little every day, because that works for me, and I see it work for a lot of dancers. Why? Because most of us are living very hectic lifestyles, and most of us doesn't have time to go to the gym, do 2 hours super hard, a very hardcore brutal training every day, or every second or third day even. So what I suggest is that you find something that fits with you and your lifestyle. Did that make sense? So the answer is not that it both works. Both works. But do what's most sustainable for you. And it goes back to that very, very common question of when is the best time to train? Is it in the morning or in the afternoon? The best time to train is the time when you are training. That's the best time to train. If you are training every morning, then that's the best time. If you're training every night and that's sustainable for you and your lifestyle, then that's the best time. The rest is just, it's so small decimal changes or differences that it doesn't really, it's not significant. Does that make sense? Like it's such a small difference. It's like, do it when it works for you. That's the best time, always. That's always the best time. Second question. Boom, here's the question. Is it all right to eat carbs, pasta or rice for dinner, respecting our quota of calories? Or is it better to eat it earlier in the day because it gives slow sugar and so energy? Is it better to eat pasta or carbs for dinner? Or is it better to eat it in the day because it gives you energy? It depends. Again, it depends. What's your goal here? Where are we going? You want to cut? Do you want to cut weight? Is that what we're doing? Then I suggest you eat your carbs a little bit earlier in the day, so like this you have all the energy from the carb consumption, and you will have that throughout the entire day, and you will get in your training also. And then once you go to sleep, again, cut. For you guys who don't know what I'm talking about, when I say, do you want to cut? It means, do you want to cut down on fat? Do you want to lose fat percentage? So if you want to cut, have carbohydrates earlier, because that will leave your glycogen level low, which is the energy source, and you will have a low carbohydrate storage inside of your body, which means that when you wake up and even during the night, your body won't use carbohydrates as a source of fuel. It will start to use fats as a source of fuel, which means you will burn fat instead of burning carbohydrates for a prolonged period of time. All right? Now, if you want to bulk, however, if you are having trouble gaining weight, bulk means adding size or adding mass to your body. If that's you, then you need to be in a caloric surplus. So then it's more important that you get your enough calories inside of you, and that's even more important than everything else. All right? Moving forward. Arbas is asking. I'd love to know how many times a day you train. What are your goals in terms of fitness and how do you approach it? Just trying to know you more, that's all. How many times a day? I can tell you that in a good way. There's very, very few times I train twice a day. Very few times. If I do it, it's because I'm really on a mission. I train, if I have the gym access, I train 4 to 5 times a week, usually 4. But then again, I like to train and I have that time, so I do longer workouts. I train full body 4 times a week, usually. If I train more, I might do some, I always do more. Okay, so let me break down my day. First thing I do when I wake up, I open my eyes. Second thing I do is that I take a big glass of water, regardless of where I am. Regardless, I always drink a huge glass of water first thing. Then I do some stretching. I do some very light morning movement to wake my body up. Then I usually go straight to the gym. I like to train first thing in the morning. Then if it's one of those 4 days, I go on a train in the morning. Not because it's better, not because it's worse. It's just because I know if I don't train in the morning, it's a huge chance for me that I'm not going to do my workout. Why? Because I have a tendency to procrastinate and things happen, and I love my work. So if I don't do it first thing in the morning, life is going to happen around me, so I don't do it. All right? That's just me. If I have to record a video for you guys, or if I want to record a video for you guys, which I usually want, I record it in the afternoon. No other reason than it just makes more sense for me, right? Goals in terms of fitness: stay lean, fix my knee once and for all. I don't think it's ever going to be fixed, to be unfortunately fair with you, but just stay really healthy. For you guys who don't know, I did 2 knee surgeries in my left knee, 14 months in between them. And in between those 14 months, I also took the time because I felt like, wow, why not? I also took the time to sprain the living life out of my right ankle. So it was like knee surgery, rehab for 4 or 5 months, sprain my right ankle, rehab for a couple of months, and then why not? Let's shoot with the knee one more time. So my goal is to never do that surgery again. So that's my goal right now. Here's a great question that comes up. I'm getting trouble keeping my mindset positive every day. I have a few low, depressed days. I know it's one of each. Wait, what? I know it's one each one. Sorry. Dyslexia, right? You get to see it in the present. I'm getting trouble keeping my mindset positive every day. I have a few low, depressed days. I know it's on each one, but do you have any recommendation? Also, is your mother tongue Portuguese? Start with that one because it's very simple. No, my mother tongue is not Portuguese. I'm half Swedish. I'm born and raised in Sweden, and I'm half Cape Verdean. And in Cabo Verde, or in Cape Verde, we don't speak Portuguese, we speak Creole. Yeah, so that's not my mother tongue. Any recommendations on when you're feeling low? Yeah. So for you guys who don't know my story, I still deal with depression, like on a day-to-day basis. I really believe that this is something that it will be with me, and anxiety. Like I really believe it's something that will be with me through prolonged time. What I'm getting a lot better at is not putting a value judgment on my feelings. What do I mean by that? It means that if I'm feeling low, I don't necessarily take that into consideration. Okay? Like I have such a cognitive distancing from what I'm feeling, because my feelings or my thoughts is not me. Does that make sense? Like I can literally see it here. Like here is my feelings. This is what I'm feeling. And I find a way to cognitively distance myself from it. And we have a mental discipline program with some of our students who are here watching, and this is one of the things that we are teaching them. And it's to not add a value judgment to your feelings, because adding a value judgment or adding vulgarity is not only the effect of feelings, it also increases it. So I'm gonna let that sink in because that's very powerful. So vulgarity or increasing or adding a value judgment to whatever you are experiencing is not only the effect of your feelings, it also increases it. So for example, if if something happens to me, let's go around with this depression. If I'm feeling stressed, for example, I'm starting to feel stressed, and that starts to trigger anxiety inside of my body. Then I hear myself thinking, or I cognitively focus on thinking, I'm feeling stressed right now. What is it? Why am I feeling stressed? I even take down a piece of paper sometimes and I write it down, and I see it for facts instead of seeing it as an emotional thing that is happening. There's a great quote from a guy called Epictetus who says, "It's not the things that upset us. It's how we react to the things that upsets us." And that's the value judgment. Okay, so if somebody, I have very few haters. Like I'm not one of those people who are saying like, shout out to my haters, you know, like if you don't have haters, you blah blah, you haven't succeeded yet. Bro, I don't agree. Like I haven't seen any of these haters that everybody talks about because they're not in my spectrum. Like I don't see them. But somebody insulted me on internet. Somebody took the liberty to insult me on internet, and instead of me seeing that and then adding value judgment to it, and like, oh, this fucking bitch, he did this and this to me. When I see him, I'm gonna punch him. Like, fuck that guy. Then I'm adding a value judgment to it, so I'm increasing the feeling. It's like turning up the volume. But instead I see it for what it is. It's like, you insulted me. I mean, so be it. Let's see if you say that when I meet you. I'm pretty sure you won't, but let's see. And it's not to be cocky, and it's easier said than done. But that is one technique that I personally use to get out of that. And just to keep your mind occupied. If you're feeling stressed or start to feel depressed, use the done next mentality. It's so powerful. It's so powerful. You're gonna be heavy. There's gonna be heavy times for you. Done next. It happened. I had a bad day a few days ago. I had a bad day. It happened. I'm gonna take some time off, reset my mind, call some people I love. That works for me, and keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Know that self-control is not only about all the ups. Self-control is about the downs. Having self-control is how fast can you bounce back from obstacles. That's resiliency. That's the definition of resiliency. Everybody here is gonna feel down sometimes. Anna Sophia is giving a thumbs up. Everybody here is gonna feel bad sometimes. Everybody here is going to go through depression. Some type of depressive things in your life. The question is, how fast can you bounce back? And that's what we are preparing for here. You know what I mean? Like, sharpen the axe when it's easy or when you don't need to. I move on. If anybody have anything to add to these, what I'm saying, like, feel free to shoot. Feel free to raise your hand or unmute yourself or something along those lines. Wait, let me read what Claudia is answering here. My mind is not me. I'll take that into consideration. I need to stop being my own hater sometimes. I'll keep the hard work. Thanks for the advice and for being so real. Keep moving forward. Let's get it, champ. My mind is, you are your mind, but you're not your thoughts. You are your mind, but you're not your thoughts. And this is why I say, like, we talk about this a lot in the mental discipline program, but it's like, you all hear two voices. We all have those two voices. I call it the bitch voice and the wolf voice. It's like, I'm not a religious guy. I'm not a religious guy whatsoever. I'm a spiritual man, but I'm not a religious guy. But I really believe that voice that is whispering inside of your head, that is causing you to feel depression, that is causing you to feel bad and negative about it. I believe that in the Bible, when they talk about the devil, that's what they talk about. Like, I literally believe that is the devil. If there would be some such thing as devil. But you can control this. You can control this. It's just a fact of practice, just like any muscle. Just like any muscle. I had a fantastic conversation with Veronica, who is a neuroscientist. She's the crazy woman that is posting every workout she's doing and leading by the front line like a queen. We had a fascinating conversation about just this. You can control your mind. It's just about practicing. Here we go. Next question. If we eat in a caloric deficit for a long time, let's say we keep during 3-4 months, during 1,200 calories every day, is there a risk that the body gets used to this amount? And once you increase to 1,500, for instance, for maintenance, to gain back some kilos. This is for Pat also. This is for Pat. If I heard her correctly, she said that she's been fasting 20 to 24 hours for a prolonged time. So this answer, well, it's not only for her, but this is going to address that, what I said earlier. The body is a fascinating machine. It's not stupid. It's not a stupid machine. If you are in a caloric deficit for way too long, you are not going to burn fat. That's not the way to reach your goals if your goal is fat loss. There is a limit that you can be in a caloric deficit. Remember that we are fasting. We are not starving. We're not starving ourselves. Big difference. If you're in a caloric deficit for way too long, your body is going to go into starvation mode, which means that it's just going to start to hold on to everything. So it's going to say, what the hell is going on here? We get no food. We get no nutrition. Let's hold on to everything. Why is that? Look at it from an evolutionary perspective. Throw back 10,000 years. We're all living in the savannah. Boom. We are out. Some of us are hunters. Some of us are gatherers. The hunter, obviously me, goes out. He comes back. Sorry, guys. I disappointed the tribe today again. I didn't get any reindeer or lions. They ate David, unfortunately. But it is what it is. So we have no food, but they took David. So what happened? We have no food. What are we going to do? We fast. We have a prolonged fast, all of us. Because the body starts to hold on to everything. So we're not dying. We need water more than we need food. So think about it as a way of, if you are hugging somebody, okay, ciao, I see you tomorrow. Ciao, I see you in 1 hour. Or if I'm hugging my family, ciao guys, I'm not going to see you for 6 months. Let me hold on to you guys. I'm just going to hold on to you extra long because I'm not going to see you for a long time. So when that happens, that's the same thing with the body. Did that make sense? Like, it's going to start to hold on to everything. That's why it's so important that even if you're fasting, you need these what's called refill days or cheat days. I write about it in my ebook, the Intermittent Fasting for Dancers ebook. I write about it, like, you need these refill days. You got to shock your body. You got to give it so you're telling your body, we're starving, or we're in caloric deficit, we're in caloric deficit. And right before the body thinks, Jesus Christ, we are starving here, let's hold on to everything, you say, psyched, here you go, boom, eat a lot of food. So then the body feels, oh, wow, look at this. Look at all this food. I didn't expect it. Let's get rid of all the fat. We don't need the fat. We're just going to keep the muscles. That's what we need. Thumbs up if that makes sense, because I felt I crushed that one. Perfect. It's great. I'm out here crushing it. What do you believe about taking protein supplements like shakes for fat loss? I think I just covered it. It's amazing. If you need extra food, it's a supplement. It's not a replacement. Don't be one of these people that I'm just gonna have a shake. I'm just gonna have a shake. What have you eaten today? I'm on a shake diet. What? A shake diet? What are you talking about? I'm on a shake diet for X amount of days, and then I'm gonna lose all these fat. That's amazing. What happens once you start to eat again? You're just gonna gain it all again. Now, if you're a performer, professional performer, if this is your occupation, you gotta go down and cut weight. If you're a professional martial artist, or if you're a professional artist or whatever, then okay, by all means, sometimes we need to go on diets. But for most of us, let's go with what's sustainable for lifestyle changes instead of searching for diets. Again, students over clients. This is why I try to do these Q&As, or I don't try, we're doing it. This is why we're doing these Q&As and always making sure to teach. Next question. After a month of the challenge, will we still have access to Dancers Bootcamp online classes? Please. I mean the website. Thanks. Yeah, you will. You will all have access to dancersbootcamponline.com until you decide that you don't want it anymore. Then it's gonna stop. Then you need to send us an email. But until then, you all have access to it. For $9. So I don't want to be any misconceptions here. Right? If you think that the workouts you've been doing now are worth 33 cents per day, then stay in Dancers Bootcamp. You know what I mean? But yes, you will absolutely have access to it. David is asking, when starting a 24-hour fast, what is the best thing? Number one, eat 1 hour, starting fasting, and then train hard. Number two, eat directly after the 24-hour fast. If you're doing a 24-hour fast, what happens is that your body, first of all, your stomach sac is going to shrink a lot, especially if it's like if you're new to for doing this prolonged fast. So your body, your muscles gonna, your stomach sac is gonna shrink a lot. What's gonna happen is that once you eat, not only will you get an incredible insulin spike because you've been away from food for so long. So if you're having a big meal, your stomach sac is gonna expand, which is gonna take a lot of effort on your stomach, and all the blood is just gonna go straight down to your stomach. And now we have to really process everything. When you're fasting, your body is in like an optimal state for utilizing nutrition. So what that means is that it's just gonna get everything. And since you haven't eaten, you would probably get in some type of food coma. Like, I think most of us who did, let's ask, thumbs up if you did your 24-hour fast and after the first meal, you had a little, you know? Yeah. That's because you're having an insulin spike in your blood, in your bloodstream. I don't know if you guys who saw it, but you guys who saw the live session I did before we did this 24-hour fast, I talked about it might be worth for some of you to have a small meal before. When you do 24-hour fast, you break it with a small meal, maybe a soup or something, and then have the bigger meal. I'm not that guy. When I've been fasting for 24 hours, I break the fast like somebody who is twerking is about to break her back. You know what I mean? I break it with all the passion in my body. Like I eat with everything I got at that moment. But yeah, I plan for it. So I suggest you do your training during fasting. It's gonna be easier for you. Blah blah blah. Can you tell us about your connection to Cabo Verde? Does your heritage culture influence your philosophy when it comes to sport, dance, and lifestyle? Do you dance kizomba? I never seen you dance it, but you seem to enjoy the music. Do I dance kizomba? Let's start with that. I have a fantastic two-step. I have an incredible two-step. If you dance kizomba with me, I might even lead you in a saida. Men and women, if you're lucky. So if that counts of dancing kizomba, I don't know. If I ask my grandmother, she would definitely say that I dance kizomba because so for my dad's side is from Cabo Verde, and the way I was exposed to that music is obviously from home. And dancing kizomba was something you do with your grandmother. It's something that is it's our folk dance from Cabo. It's the folk dance we are doing here. So does it affect my does your heritage influence your philosophy when it comes to sport and dance? Not necessarily sports, maybe. Not necessarily sports. I mean, I see it from a holistic perspective, of course, but I didn't get that from Cabo. I say I just I got that from reading a lot. But does it my philosophy and my lifestyle? Definitely. Heritage is extremely important for me. My heritage. It's my diaspora. Like in Cabo we have I think it's the same word in English even. In Cabo we have a word that's called diaspora, which means it's like community. It's the word for community. And this, what I'm looking at right now, is my diaspora, you know? And I'm very, very proud from coming from Cabo. We are the world's first Creole nation, which means that before, like we were, like there is Creole from other places. There is Creole people in Haiti, in Jamaica, in wherever. Creole is when you mix Africans with Europeans. But because of our position on the map, we were the world's first Creole nation. And we are very small people. We're not a lot of people. Like we are 500,000 on the island, a little bit more, sorry. And about 500 other people that are spread out. So I'm extremely proud of coming from Cape Verde. And we have another word that's called, another expression called ñatara, which is in Spanish, mi tierra, which is like my dirt. It's like, you know, it's like this. You know when you come home and you like feel like I can't explain it. It's like it's this. Did that make sense? Like I don't know. I feel it when I talk to some people. Some people get it. Some people don't get it. But it's definitely has a lot to do with my the way I see life and the way I take care of people. And for me also, because I wasn't raised there. I was raised in Sweden. And what happens to most people is that most people, they start to, when they reach a certain age, they start to break away from their family. It's like now I'm gonna do me. Like I'm gonna create my own family. I'm gonna go out, travel, etc., etc. I was very early to do that, which means that now so the older I got, the more I started to go back to my heritage. Did that make sense? Like I feel it's so important. I feel it's so important. And it gives me a lot of ease, a lot of calmness. Like all of my tattoos is from my family. I have like, I don't even know how many I have, but I have a few. So family is very, very important for me. It doesn't, but if it affects my sport, I'm not sure. Right, enough about Cabo. I'm gonna get melancholy over here. I'm about to get tears in my eyes. Do you have any advice on lacking self-love? I seem to become horrible at taking care of myself when I fall in love with someone or I'm pressured at work. I need to make mental effort not to eat junk food, sleep well, work out, etc. How do you approach this? Balance paying attention to others and your own needs. That's a great question. How do you approach this and balance paying attention to others and your own needs? I put myself first before anything. And I want that to be very clear. Like I would never do this boot camp. I would never put 2 months of basically free work, or not even basically, of losing money on dancers, what we are doing right now, because we remember this is the second time we're running the Dance Against Corona. We ran it one time before. I would never do that if I didn't want to do that. So with that being said, I love giving back, but I give back because I love giving back, not because anybody else is forcing me to give back. Did that make sense? So if you dig deep and start to read a lot about philosophy, a lot about whatever it is, if you start to dig deep about this deep, if you start to dig deep about this big deep, if you start to dig and listen to great thinkers, they are all stating that whatever we are doing is egoistic. It's egoistic, but you got to understand that what it is. So if you like, how can I expect to take care of someone if I don't even take care of myself? Like, how am I supposed to be a good anything, let alone a boyfriend, if I don't take care of myself? Tanya is saying, if your glass isn't full, there is absolutely no way to fill up anybody else's cup. You need to take care of, number one, you, self. That's not selfish, it's necessary. Preach. Facts. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. If you don't feel, where is Tanya? She's here somewhere. Please talk to us, sis.
Hello.
Please talk on the subject.
No, it's true. I mean, I think we all kind of struggle with it. And it's something that I've been learning. I mean, I'm 34 now, so I've been struggling for a while, and now learning about myself is refreshing, but it's really important. It is true. You have to take care of yourself. And I think the problem is in a lot of cultures, and I'm American now, but also but we're taught to take care of other people and make other people happy and worry about other people's feelings all the time, all the while we're ignoring ourselves, because it would be selfish to take care of yourself first. Exactly. And it's not selfish, it's absolutely necessary, because yes, if you are on empty, there's no way you can give energy to anybody else sufficiently, and it wouldn't be fair. Like me being an instructor, if I'm not taking care of me personally, how am I able to give the energy and the good vibes to my students? Because I don't have anything in me to give.
And it's so hard. It's so hard to get that understanding of like, wow, I need to, for me to be a good anything, father, mother, instructor, whatever the case may be, you got to put yourself first there. And it's so easier said than done. But when it comes to self-love and just taking care of yourself, for me personally, what it always goes back to is my movie ending. It's like, who do I want to be here? Do I want to be a half coach? Like, do I want to be a personal trainer that nobody listen to, or do I want to be an inspiring character in this community? If I want to be that, perfect. Then I got to put myself first. There's no other way. There's no other way. Thank you for sharing that piece.
You're welcome.
All right, that's it for the questions that was posted in the Facebook group. We have a few minutes left here. Let's see. Let me see here. Claudia is asking, if I last 3 days after challenge, trouble with myself and my mind happens, should I start from day one and retake? No. If you I mean, do as you please, Claudia. I would personally, if I fall off the bandwagon for whatever reason, just jump right back on. Like the fun with this challenge is that we are doing it together. So jump right back on, join the movement, be part of everything, and then afterwards you collect these and you do them afterwards. You know, if you have a lot of energy, feel free to do 2 in one day, but I would just keep on going. Hey Seb, what kind of supplements would you suggest for a healthy and lean body? What kind of supplements are you having? I'm eating, it's not supplements that's gonna, let's just make that very, very clear. There's not a single supplement on the face of the earth that's gonna make you lose weight. There is, that's great marketing. That's fantastic marketing. I wouldn't have a job, for example, if it was that easy that you ate the pill and you lose weight. Imagine that, a pill, that you eat a pill and you burn fat. What, what a crazy business idea that is. Let's lie to people. Let's lie to people and say that if they eat this pill, they're gonna lose fat. Imagine that shit's legal. With that being said, I eat whey protein sometimes, and I do eat creatine. Whey protein is a milk protein that is just protein. Why do I eat it? Because sometimes I forget to eat, even myself included. That's why I personally do like to count calories, because I forget my life if I get stuck in, you know, helping others and taking care of like work. I love work. I love to read. I love to dance. I love to train. I think cooking is boring, so it's just something that falls natural to me. So I just forget to eat. So that's why for me it's good to count my calories. So whey protein and creatine I eat sometimes. Creatine, it's a performance enhancer, 100% legal, zero side effects from it. Is the only, and I say this with science backing me up on this, is the only supplement that we know with science that increases your performance. That is not an anabolic steroid. That is not a fat burner with some green tea mixed with ginseng or some other type of hippie herb. When I'm saying that, it's like those herbs help you. Like, again, I'm a spiritual guy. Like, I try to do my thing very holistic. So these herbs help you, but not in a capsule, not in a small micro amount in a capsule. So don't let people fool you there. But again, no supplement on the planet can take away the effect of good nutrition. Boom. Next. I think that's pretty much it. No, hey. Jail is asking, what do you recommend? What is good or not? What do you recommend to feel good or not exhausted after working out? Something especially trying to keep a good energy level for the rest of the day. If you're feeling exhausted after you work out, is not necessarily the workout is not the cause. It's the effect. The cause why you're feeling tired is your nutrition and your water. With that being said, sometimes you might actually blast yourself away. You know, you might actually train so hard that you have no other sense in the what's the name? That you might train so hard that you actually like fatigue yourself. Good or bad, I mean, if you like that feeling, sometimes it's what you feel. You know, whatever you like. There's nothing negative with it. There's nothing positive with it. Negative, I guess, is because you can't continue to do whatever happens after in your life. But it's nothing dangerous. I think that's what I'm trying to say. I'm going to ask one more question. Hi, that's it. No more questions. Guys, I just want to say again that thank you for coming to these webinars. Thank you for showing up for these webinars, first of all. And when I say something, I don't say it for this is what I think. I don't care what I think. Nobody should care what I think. You should care what I say if it's backed by science. There is no secret herb over there that will make you lose fat. There is no secret supplement over there that will make you lose fat. There is no secret ingredients to this. The secret ingredients is to control this thing. That's the secret. This is the secret. It's already inside of you. It's already inside of you. And you're talking to a guy who was depressed for years, like panic anxiety. And I'm the same guy who I was back then. The only difference is that instead of watching it like this, I can now watch it like this. It's such a small shift. And I say to people, for you guys who don't know, we're doing one-on-one coaching. So I have tons of online students. Some of them are here. Most of them are here. And not only physically, but also mentally. And when I talk to somebody who is having anxiety and depression, it's like, it's almost frustrating to me. It's almost frustrating because it's so hard to explain. It's so hard to explain that it's such a small shift. It's such a small thing that you need to understand in order for you to be happy, be happier, or be content with yourself at least. And that comes from here. Like, there is no secret. This is the secret. I'm going to tell you right now, the only difference is from you or whoever is this. Because some people control that voice, and some people don't control that voice. And if you don't start to learn how to control it, that it's going to seep into other parts of your life. Like, I had a moment for a while that, and I still feel it. Like, I had a moment when I was out social dancing. I saw my life, like, I wouldn't dare to dance with women. Like, I wouldn't dare to ask women to dance. Like, fear of rejection was such a big thing for me that it started to hold me back from my dancing. So I'm like, wait, if it's holding me back from what I love to do, what other parts of my life is this seeping into, this insecurity? And it's just this thing right there. Did that make sense? Like, it's so, mental health and mental discipline, it's such an important subject because you don't have a choice here. Control it. You have to learn to control it. No matter what you want. No matter what you want. If you want to be a better dancer, if you want to be a better human, father, mother, sister, whatever, you need to take care of yourself first. And I can talk about this for hours, which is exactly what I'm going to do in 3 minutes with my mental discipline program that I have coming up right after. And we're going to post this for you guys who want to join for next season. Me and big sis Tanya here have some more surprises coming up for you guys. Do you have anything to add, Tanya?
The only thing I would say, because I saw it in the chat, is people feeling down, which is sad but unavoidable, obviously. Everything that you said, I agree with. The only other thing I would add is don't be afraid to ask for help either. Like, it's okay to be down and to maybe feel certain feelings of depression. Don't unpack your bags there. That's kind of what we say in the US. It's okay to be there, just don't unpack there, which means stay in that state, right? So if you find yourself staying in that state, maybe it's time to reach out for a therapist or something like that. And I personally myself take therapy. I've been doing therapy for years, and it's helped because I also went through a really, really dark time years ago, and then it kind of resurfaced. I thought I had taken care of it, and I didn't. And it came back, and then I went through the suicidal thoughts, all that, like, really, really dark things. And then finally I was like, oh, fine, I'll do therapy. And I never went before because I thought I'm not weak. And therapy made me feel at the beginning, before I went to it, like I was a weak person, like I wasn't strong enough to take care of it myself. And that's not the case. Actually, it takes a very strong person to go to therapy. So I would say to whoever is feeling depressed or in a dark place at the moment and the exercises aren't helping, nothing you're doing right now seems to be helping, reach out and talk to a professional. It doesn't make you weak. It actually makes you strong, and it's going to help you in the long run. That's the only other thing I would say.
Great summary. Great summary. Guys, I'm going to say bye dancers. I'm going to unmute all of you. You're going to say 4 dancers. And that's it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being part of our journey. You guys who are in the mental discipline program, I see you guys starting to log in here, just hang around. For you guys who are not, I need to bounce. And that's it. That's it. I'm gonna unmute all of you. Wait, I've done this so many times and I keep messing it up. Boom. Here we go. All right, everybody. That's it for this week. Thank you all so much for being here and sharing this moment with us. Remember, as always, by dancers.
More dancers.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Bye-bye.
Talk to you soon. Ciao.
Gracias.
Gracias.
Chao, gracias.
Ciao, 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 pescado.
Gracias.